Hello everyone, Gerone Wright here again, and you're joining me on my Geronification YouTube channel. I'm going to be decoding this Renaissance artwork, which was created in 1425. That's right, 1425 by Masaccio Masolino, Italian artist, I would imagine. Um, and he's from. This painting was on the walls of the Bracciario Chapel in the Church of Santa Maria del Carmine in Florence, Italy. All right, that's Bracci Chapel, whatever that is. That's Bracciari. I don't know what that is, but Brancacci Chapel in the Church of Santa Maria del Carmine in Florence. Okay, and Italy, and it depicts the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. And it's from the book of Genesis, chapter 3, with a few differences from the chronicle account. Okay, now, as you are aware, it is my position that I can read through these images, and not just read through them, because there's an underlying message about these images on what's going on and what's being said about these images. And this is the reason, the underlying message is that these artists are suggesting. In my findings, these are nothing more than genetic grails that shows and depicts directions of bloodlines of mankind, and genetic bridgings and manipulations that actually go on in a cult-like way, and under the guise of Christianity and many other ancient things that happenings and occurrences that went on. The story has been changed around to where just a select few of people understand these messages and these images and the text, whereas the masses of the people are kept in the dark about all of this. And it's my position that these images are readable, and in understanding what is being stated and understanding these images and the text for what it really is, then you get a sense of being of who you truly are. Alright, now with that out of the way, this is a 1425 painting, and it's my position that there are encryptions in this image that I can show you, and you can Google this image and you can go and see these encryptions for yourself. Now, the reason why there's two versions up here is because this painting was changed a few times. I believe that at one point they were nude, and then the leaves were added on. That, oh gosh, what they said, what type of leaves they were, but they were added on. Hold on for 1 minute here. Let me see if I can get my story right. Okay. 3 centuries after the fresco painting was created, Cosimo III de' Medici, in line with contemporary ideas of Decoding, ordered that their fig leaves be removed. Okay, be removed. Fig leaves be added. Oh, be added to conceal. So, after this fresco painting was created, it was originally like this, and then these fig leaves were added to conceal the genitals of the figures. These were eventually removed in the 1980s when the painting was fully restored and cleaned. So this is now divergent after it was fully restored and cleaned. So this occurred in 1980 cleaning. However, the painting originally supposedly had been where there was no fig leaves on the genital areas. So this painting seemingly has, guess, would have to been altered multiple times there. So so to speak, is what actually was happening. Okay. Now, what can I see in this painting? Obviously, what is being depicted here, I don't. I mean, I see beyond that. But if you notice with these paintings, I mean, I'm just going to point out some things in the restoration, and then I'm going to work my way back. First of all, I mean, this here is all cleaned up. Everything is all cleaned up. That should raise suspicions in itself, okay? But look at the head. I'm gonna see if I can bring that head of that angel or whatever that divine figure is there flying. Look at the it's thundering out there. Look at the head of that being right there, and that should send another red flag. Look at this. The way the head is there. You see that? See that there's a problem with that there. Look at the shadowy figure as opposed to what's over here. Now I'm going to point some things out to you on what's trying to be covered up here. Let's go to this divine figure. First of all, there's multiple faces here. Look out and half that face. Now this is what's covered up. Now there's a face. I'm going to show you. There in the face. There's a face. There's three multi-dimensional faces here. First of all, there's a face and a face right there, and you can see it more clearly here because it's more pinkened. You see that? The right eye would be there. I have it drawn out, but there's a chin. See that? There's a lip. There's a nose. See that face? If you were to cover this out, look. There's another face there. See that red face right there? I covered the one face out. See that face? Now, let me show you. That's the second. There's the first face behind the pencil. There's the second face to the, would be the left of the pencil, which would be right, well, let me get another pointer, because I'm going to show you another face here on how these artists showed the genetics of mankind in transition on how we were created. It's showing what is being altered here. Okay. See that face right there? Look at that. There's a chin, there's a mouth, there's a nose, and it's actually kind of looking towards the other face there, which would be underneath the pencil. Okay? Now you see that? Now, let me see if I can give you that third face. Let's go here and cover that up. There's a third face right there. And I'm going to give you all faces. Now you have 1, 2, 3 faces in one, morphing each other. Right there. Okay? Now look how this was covered up. And this is the reason why this whole image, even though it's restored in the hair, looks discombobulated now. You see that? But you can see that one face right there. Now I'm going to show you the main face that they wanted to take out of here. Now you see that face there, still there in the darkened area. Still, you can see the one that one face. Now the reason why they took this face out is because this face here is a horn being. There's its right horn, and there's its left horn going into the eye area over here and the head of these two other faces right there. Now I'm going to bring that up and I'm going to show you, and that's the reason why they went through great lengths to completely extract that one face, but that second face is still there, can be realized right there. But they actually went through great lengths to get that horn being out of there for pretty obvious reasons, of course, because you can't have no devil image with that of a divine image floating in the air. Okay? Now, here's the next thing I want you to look at that I have highlighted that they removed. Here, in this area, right there, that darkened area, there's another face. Look at this. Eye, nostril, mouth. And there's a chin. It's facing down towards the back area of Adam. Now what does this mean? This is the expulsion of the Garden of Eden. What it is saying that these genetics were left behind, and Adam and Eve emerged from the Garden of Eden with the genetics more closer yet to that of our their white counterparts than that of our ape ancestor genetics. And these are the genetics that are being left behind, and they're being. This is what all this entire reference about the Garden of Eden is, which I made. I stated in my previous video. Okay, now I'm going to bring in some more images. I'm going to show you my highlights, and I'm going to make this video as short as possible here because my point is very clear here, and I don't need to go above and beyond in trying to making my point. Now, another thing that was removed was the fig leaves. These fig leaves, you notice that here in Adam and Eve being the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden, you don't see that serpent, that snake. You know why? Because back then, in the earlier, I don't know if this is one of the first images or not or whatever, but back then, what they did is they encrypted the serpent. It's showing you that Adam and Eve is bridged over the serpent, and it's wrapped around both of their bodies, their genitalia area, and the head of the serpent is right there. Because they're bridged over. They were genetically bridged over that reptile to change that. This is what calls for their alterings and furthered them from the likeness of their ape African ancestor. This is what this is telling you. That there was a genetic intervention that calls for the likenesses of these beings to become more genetically, in a physical sense, inside out, to this from that of their ape African ancestor. Alright? Now, let me show you what I see. Okay, I'm clean this video up here from there. This is what I can see. Also, if you look here, you'll see transparent images. This is another reason why this entire thing was cleaned up. There's a larger face of an ape. There's the mouth. Then there's a smaller face of an ape, an eye. I'm gonna show you in a minute. Okay, there's transparent images that are here, and it's showing you these images through blood and semen. And this is what this is. These are like genetic grail. If you were to have a grail, a readable grail of genetics, like they do when they take your DNA and do for DNA testing and all that, that's what these paintings are a representation of. It shows you the past. I mean the transition of these genetics, and it's showing you what's happening. Okay, now check this out. I'm going to bring in my drawing, and I'm going to explain what is actually there. First of all, where we at here? And let's go in the body of that divine figure, because you can actually Google this image now that I showed you, and you can look at this. I'm going to leave this up so you can actually, I can pull this in closer. There's that divine flying figure. This is what they cleaned out of there. Go to the transparent image, the expulsion. Go to the expulsion from the Garden of Eden, and it's by Masaccio, Masaccio, and it was created in 1425 by Masaccio, Masaccio, Masolino, Masoli. In fact, here, let me just do this instead of doing all of that. Let me bring this up right quick, and if you want to Google the image, Wikipedia, you can actually take and where we at here? Where's this guy's name at? Because I'm tired of screwing his name up there. Have the whole Italian community mad because I'm tearing up these names. Where we at with his name? Okay, there is his first name right there. I could have sneezed. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm getting over a cold here. And where is his Mussolino? There's his last name there. Okay? There's the first. which you can check it out. And then there's the last, and you can Google this image. And I'm going to show you some very interesting things here. Okay? Now, about this. Here's my highlights that I've made that I want to bring you to. Go to that flying being there. Oh, I can't see because my counter is right there behind. Alright, let me give you that demonic figure. Oh, my counter is right there where I want to show you this demonic figure. So, can I move it over without... Okay, there you go. I got it moved over some. Let me show you my demonic figure. Go right here. And there's a horned being. There's the right horn, I believe. And there's the left horn. There's the face. Can I bring that in closer? Alright, let me bring that in closer and then just drop it down instead of going through all of that. That'd be the best thing. Okay, there's our demonic figure right there. You see that being? Right there? That's what I'm telling you is... Oh, I got it pinned there. Anyway, that being is right there. A horned figure. Then there's the other face, which is... Where we at? Right here. Then there's the other face that can be realized right here. And then you have the face, the complete face of this divine figure that's actually flying. So you have 1, 2, 3 faces. This is the third face that I'm telling you. Here's the second face right there. I'm going to see if I can go around it and highlight it there. Right there. I'm around the nose now, coming over the head. And it's sharing the face of this being there. And there's, you see that face? See the cheekbone and everything right there, people? Okay, 1, 2, well actually 1, 2, 3 faces, a multi-dimensional face showing you the transition of genes. Now what is this right down here? In the divine figure's leg, you have a dinosaur / reptilian-like creature. Right there, there's the eye, there's an eye. And in its knee area, nostril, even, I mean, all of these, like how, you know how with the dinosaur you have the actual nose, and then you have like another set of like nostrils up higher there, like these, like this thing has like 4 noses. All of these defining features and the flaps around the eye that gives it that reptilian like appearance right there. All of these defining features are encrypted in the clothing. The clothing, the outlay of the clothing creates the face of the creature as if the creature's head was beneath the skin, and you can actually see it. In fact, I've seen they have like a 3D image there. You know, they do 3D images of children now, and I've just seen an image, and that's what this reminds me of. I might do a video on that later. So what is this creature attaching? Well, over here, that can be realized, there's a face of an ape. Okay, right behind that dinosaur-like creature, and reptilian, which actually creates that reptilian presence of the ape, our ape ancestor. Now, you see this being, this divine being, pointing to this direction. Look at the hand towards the hand area. There's transparent images. Everything that I just told you, let me bring this down. Everything that I just told you that is right here, this demonic figure, the reptilian ape presence right here, those faces, and this dinosaur-like creature right there that's encrypted is over here, can be realized transcending in a transparent way. Now at the top of this mass, can you see? Oh yeah, there you go, right there. There's the demonic-like figure, the horn, eye, nose, and there's the mouth. Now this is transparent now, people, but you can Google the image, and now that I've shown it to you, when you pull the image up, you can realize these transparent images. Now there's other images that you can actually see, like there's an eye socket there, but I'm going to show you what I highlighted for you. That reptilian ape that is right here is right there. There's his eye, there's his head, there's over top of his nostril area, and there's his mouth, and there's his chin. And I highlighted the eye to give it more of a reality, but if you look there, you would actually see a socket for an eye. Now, don't look too hard, because these are the easier images that I showed you. If you go to looking too hard, let me show you what you'll get. You will get an entire image, but you will see other faces, and they're morphing, going down, showing you the direction of these genetics. But there's the ape's face right here, okay, that I highlighted for you, and that his head is that demonic figure that is right there, and you'll see the horns. Now, let's bring this down. Actually, I can bring it up, because and I want to show you something, because it actually gets better. Let's go to Adam's head first, and then I'm going to show you something else. Look at Adam's head. Remember I told you that there is a being there? It shows you these genetics in combination in his hair. So why would they be there in his hair? Why? Because it shows you they didn't use, we do blood transfusion with needles and all of that. They showed you that these genetics altered, Adam was genetically altered in this process of the Garden of Eden through this process. And it shows you these genetics that were left behind, which were defeated during the process of this reptilian bridging, which was through that of our ape ancestor. And it shows you the face of that creature in Adam's hair as being left behind. Nostril, mouth, chin. And this is the reason why you have this darkened area. Now I'm going to show you, before that painting was restored. Look, people. Left eye, right eye, top of the head. See the beast? Nostril, that'd be the right nostril, left nostril, mouth area, and its chin is shared with that of the image and likeness of Adam here. And this is how they are showing you that these genetics, this is people that knows how to read this, know how to read this image, and that's the reason why these faces look so strangely like. Now, our reptilian ape, which is here, underneath his chin, you'll see morphing dimensional faces of that of the ape. Now, I colorfully gave them their eyes and stuff right there, but this is what I can see. It's showing you where these genetics are going. Now, let's go down to the bottom part, because it actually gets better there. And what I like about this is that you can Google this image. Let's go to Adam's crotch area. Now we notice over here that the fig leaves were removed. Why were they removed? Because this is why they were removed. Because if you look closely, okay, I wanna show you the snake's head. Can you see that snake's head right there? When you Google this image, yeah, you can see it from the side. When you Google this image, rotate, either download it and rotate it, and I've highlighted a snake for you. Now, mind you that in all the other images of Adam and Eve, that is wrapped around the tree, is coiled around the tree, and it has a being on it, okay? You don't see it in this sense. It's showing you that this coiled body is wrapped around mankind. And the reason why you do not, this is in raw form here, people. The reason why you don't see this is because it tells you that this snake is bridged over the genitalia of womankind and mankind, and it's showing you that they were genetically altered with the presence of a reptilian gene. And this is, see that right there? The head of the reptile. Look how the transitioning colors of that, of how you would see that. And you have to see my other videos, because I have other videos with similar, with that of with Jesus involved in it, and the Fazzini sculpture in Nervy Hall. So I mean, this shouldn't, don't let this become as a surprise with you, because what it is showing you now, where did these reptilian genes come from? I'm going to give you the tail of where the snake's head is at. Now, there's the head of the snake, right there, in the fig leaves, encrypted. Now, and I wonder if I lift this up where you see, yeah, look people, see the head of the snake there? Now, this is before I actually made the highlight. See the right tooth of the snake, the left tooth of the snake. See its open mouth, bottom mouth area, top mouth area. See the two-tone? There's this eye right there, eye socket area. See the two-tone that's in it? See the head of the snake? Look how you have to realize this snake. See, look how I had to rotate the picture for you to see that. You don't see this picture with this snake wrapped around the body like this. Or should I say you do, because you know who does this? In the Mayan culture. You'll see the snake wrapped around the waist in the Mayan culture. In the Mayan depictions and glyphs. That's where you see that. Like the snake tied around the waist like a belt. Reptilian bridging, people. Now, where's the other end of these fig leaves mounted to, rooted to? It's my position that we evolved from the dinosaur, right? That's my position. Don't nobody, I mean, my position is we evolved from the dinosaur, and I know the complete cycle of that of mankind's genetics. So therefore, it'd be easy for me now, thanks to Masolino, or whoever his name is, I can take you there. And this is why, okay, hold on, let me back this off, because this is probably right here. It's showing you that these genes, these genetics, if you look down here in the corner, you'll see the founding stones here, and you'll see the face of that of a reptile, of a reptilian-like creature that I can actually see, and I detail. For you, would it be much more difficult to see? I'm going to leave this up for a minute so you can, so when you Google the image, you can actually relate it to my highlights. Now I'm going to take it and lift this up and show you what is being encrypted. See the scaliness of the dinosaurs there, and I mean and that reptilian creature. See what I captured. See what they're telling you, tooth, mouth, teeth area here, mouth. See that? It's showing you these genetics in a combination with other genetics on how through the Garden of Eden, which is that of our ape ancestor and our African ancestors, how the originating genetics were altered and subsequently caused for the genetic likenesses of these beings. And this, people, is why I'm telling you that you cannot be surprised about all of this, is because this is the reason why life forms deviate so dramatically from that of our ape ancestor through to our African ancestor, and then look at our Asian world. How the eyes, the hair, I mean, even in Egypt, how these people of the culture group are consistently looking the same. It's not until we come into our Caucasian counterparts that everything so dramatically changes, with the hair color, the eye color, the appearance overall changes. And it is all of those other people that I just named, our ape, the African, and all of that, that we evolved, everyone evolved. So these likenesses came, and they came from somewhere. And this is the Pandora's box that I am opening up. I'm telling you that a select few group of people was privileged to the knowledge of altering the genes of mankind with that of the genetic bridging with that of animals. And our Caucasian counterparts, their hair, their eyes, can all be compared to that of creatures of our world, such as lions, such as tigers, such as horses. It is my position through a period of time that our genes can be re-intervened, and it's every 400 years, in my mind, to 500 years, that I see, according to the records and all that I see, that these interventions can be made without cross-interfering or dire consequences with the first intervention that was actually made. And this is what all of these remarkable myth, biblical stories, ancient texts is all about. And through all of the history, Egypt, ancient Maya, ancient Anunnaki, ancient Sumerian, ancient Egyptian, all of this, there are records of all of this happening. What is this here? Is this, am I looking at almost like an eye here? And this really almost looks like a real life like eye there, but like almost like right there, up there. But I wonder where, I'm gonna have to look back at that in a minute, because it looks like I'm seeing, I know that I made this as the understood, but it looks like it can be actually be realized as a complete head at some point, like right here coming around, and it looks like that Adam's their legs here, it looks like it can actually be realized as a lizard as well too. Alright, but anyway, my position is that these artists, and especially the earlier on artists, you can see in their artwork what has happened, and it's there. And this, you see everything that I pointed out, all of these highlights. Can't you see now why in the restoration it was cleaned up? Well, because it tells you who you genetically are. They would rather show you the penis and give you that to look at than to actually have you with your identity and showing you that serpent and how that serpent is connected to that of our ancient dinosaur, and how this was a bridged over moment which calls for these likenesses. They would rather give you a penis to look at than the truth. My name is Gerone Wright. You're watching my Geronification channel. And again, this is another example of a Renaissance artist at a time in the 14th century, people. And please think with me that modern science has not just long ago discovered that mankind was genetically linked to that of ape, and I mean scientifically proven it, and then all mankind evolved through Africa, through that of Africans. So, but these people enjoyed this knowledge of this in the 14th century and before. It goes back to, I can take this back to catacomb images in the 2nd century. And then there are other records that people do not even know about, not even people that know this, that I've discovered, that I can take us back before that. And that's how I know how these creatures were created, including ape. People, there is much to be realized here. Again, in my previous video with Adam and Eve, I stated that the Garden of Eden is only a reference as to how mankind, referencing that of our Caucasian counterparts, were created. This is nothing to do with everything that happened before, which is our Africans, which is our ape, and our Asians. On the Asian continent. This has nothing to do with that. This is just showing you how these beings genetically emerged from those that were previous. So this is not the creation of mankind. This is the creation of Caucasian kind. And that's what is being trying to be covered up here. And that's the reason why this painting was restored. And not just that, there's many others too I can do this with. The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. I mean, there's not a Renaissance artist that does not boastfully. This is what the Renaissance era paintings were about, which I remind you again was overseen by the Vatican, or either and the popes, because they monitored what was happening with these artists. It had to go through them in order to be. Now check this out now. Not only are the artists guilty of this, but their mentors. Just check this out. We can go right down. You can look at the artists. You can look at their mentors. You can look at their mothers and fathers. You can look at their religious affiliations. You can look at their entire history. And it undoes and shows you where they were groomed to finally be coming to the point where their knowledge that they had, their higher knowledge, can be attributed to or derived from. And this is why I love my discoveries, because there is a paper trail of knowledge that shows you what's going on with these people and who you are. My name is Gerone Wright. You're watching my Geronification channel, and I'll catch you in my next video. Thank you.